Welcome to the Floyd Memorial Library podcast, where we sit down with the people who give shape, texture, and voice to life on the North Fork of Long Island. Some are rooted here by generations, others arrived by chance or choice, but all carry with them a piece of the story. We talk about what's changing, what's worth holding on to, and the currents of history, both quiet and loud, that run through this place. I'm your host, Christopher Bianchi, and for episode 192, we sit down with Madison Fender, a talented freelance photographer whose work captures people, places, and the spirit of Long Island's East End. Based on the North and South Fork, Madison's photography blends editorial and documentary styles, bringing warmth and authenticity to everything from weddings and portraits to creative brand work. In our conversation, Madison shares how she first discovered her passion for photography, what drew her to the East End, and how she approaches such a wide range of subjects. And lastly, she discusses the art community and her hopes for the future of the North Fork. So I hope you enjoy episode 192 with Madison Fender. This episode was recorded July 3rd, 2025. Thank you so much for coming on the Floyd Memorial Library podcast today. It's really great to have you on today.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here. It's a beautiful summer day, so it's actually kind of nice to be in this cool room.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Definitely. And so just in the beginning, usually with a little bit, talk about your background. Can you tell us a bit about where you're from and what first drew you to photography?
I am from Southern California, from the coast of LA, a little area called the South Bay. And looking back, I always had a camera on me. It was always a disposable camera or a point and shoot, but probably from like 6th grade on, I always had one. I always asked for a camera for my birthday, but I never thought anything of it. And then like looking back, I was taking portraits. I was taking pictures of friends. I mean, you know, a lot of them had like peace signs and like tongues sticking out, but it was all photos of people. And that was pre-social media. Then MySpace happened, but we won't go there. And then a couple of things that stand out in hindsight that like make me realize, oh, it makes sense that I'm a photographer. I remember I was in the broadcast journalism program at my high school, and a friend of mine brought her dad's big Nikon DSLR camera to take our headshots that day. And I remember asking to hold it and it feeling like so normal, but like a part of, first of all, back then, if you had a DSLR camera, you're rich. Like they weren't easy. They weren't as common as they are now. So it was the first time I held a real camera. Of course, that day I ended up taking everyone's headshots because I was being a camera hog. And then another time that comes to mind is I modeled for a friend's jewelry company, and her mom was is a professional photographer. She was like the real deal, like did like big editorial stuff. And during the whole shoot, the whole time I was looking for I was looking for little vignettes. I was like basically bossing her around. And because I couldn't help it. Like my creative energy was flowing, and I was way more interested in taking the photos than being in the photos. And I didn't think anything of it. And then I think like for my 19th or 20th birthday, my mom gave me a Canon Rebel, which is like a real camera. It's like a starter DSLR. And from that moment on, I took photos all the time. I worked at a medical marijuana dispensary, and I started taking product shots for them and like employee portraits. And then I was a preschool teacher, which is funny because, you know, it was very taboo back then. But then I was a preschool teacher, and I was taking portraits of the kids. And like for Father's Day, we would give, you know, I just was really using my camera then. And then it was shortly after that, I moved to New York reluctantly. My mom moved here 5 years prior, and I like didn't know what to do with my life. And then I came out here, and it changed my life forever. And that's where I met another local photographer who was one of my very first friends out here. And he really took me under his wing. He told me I was good. He let me shoot events with him. I shot my first wedding with him. And then eventually I got my first business gig out here from Noah's. They hit me up to do food photos for them. And I was like, oh my God, it was such a big deal. So that's like the quick story of how I got here.
But you mentioned the photography from even sixth grade, but were you doing that through high school? And
so it's crazy because I didn't take photography.
Okay.
I've actually never taken a photography class.
That's right.
I'm completely self-taught.
Nice.
But being in the video production and because I originally wanted to go into broadcast journalism, and I was the girl at all of the sports, all the events, interviewing people and film, so I was like kind of all in a similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for coming out of high school, that's what you were.
So then I went to college for communications, and then I dropped out. And then I moved to New York, and that's when, honestly, I never thought that being a photographer was out of reach. It just really came naturally and felt like this is what I'm supposed to do. It was never a struggle. It just happened. And it's still like, yeah, I can't imagine doing anything else.
And what did you think of I guess what year was that you first came out here?
It was 2012 that I came out here. And it was funny because when I first moved out here, I kind of, like fake it till you make it. I emailed Dan's Papers and North Forker. Hey, I'm a photographer that just moved out here. I had no business calling myself a professional photographer at the time, but they both booked me. And I got my first photojournalistic gigs. So my first shoot for Dan's Papers was a Mother's Day article at the Riverhead Aquarium. Big deal for me back then. I took that shoot very seriously. And then with North Forker, very early on, I made the cover shot for their wellness issue. Wow. And that's when I was like, okay, it gave me some momentum to really start taking it seriously. And then I worked at Lieb Sellers for a long time, and they really harnessed my photography. They let me take pictures there all the time. They really encouraged me to pursue it, which was cool. So I was able to practice a lot with the content stuff I do now. I kind of really started while I was working in the winery in the tasting room, and
yes,
I met a lot of people through there that furthered my career too.
And then I was curious what you thought of the North Fork at that time compared to coming from California. What did you think of the area then?
I thought it was the most magical, secret little land that everyone that comes out here I think has a similar what is this place? And I remember driving through Greenport and being like, this is like a movie set. And then a year later, I didn't realize I would be living here for 13 years. So yeah, I think the North Fork is just such a little slice of paradise.
And then, so you were able to get involved in the community, but how would you describe your style? Or because I guess it can blend editorial and documentary elements, but how did you arrive at the aesthetic today?
It really just has evolved on its own from doing living out here as an artist, you kind of have to take what you can get for a while, which was cool because it gave me an opportunity. I've had the opportunity to photograph a lot of different things, and my style and the quality and my skills have all just evolved throughout the years. And I don't know, there's nothing to like pinpoint. But I do want to touch back on the community aspect real quick, because there was a time about 10 years ago where there was a big influx of local creatives. Kara Hoblin moved out here. Julia King moved out here. I moved out here. Jeremy Gerritsen moved out here. Lizzie Swigart at the Times Vintage. Like, we all moved out. And there's plenty more that I'm not even rattling off. But there was a big influx of creatives that came out here at the same time. We were all new. We were all around the same age. And we were all at the same kind of stages of our careers. And we've all, like, grown up together and, like, have fed off each other and have grown with each other through the community. So, like, I just want to note that aspect of the North Fork, and I'm kind of seeing it again. I'm seeing another influx of creatives moving out here and kind of integrating into the community, and it's really cool that the North Fork we can live out here as artists year round somehow. We make it happen.
Yeah.
But I just think that's such a special part of the North Fork.
And you were also involved with helping with the North Fork Collective earlier?
Oh, yeah. Yes. So Kara Hoblin, it's her baby, and she brought a crew of us on to help at first. Yeah, it was so fun. That was really fun because that
was where the cheese shop or the cake
on Front Street, and man, we would all just hang out, make art, and it was cool. I mean, none of us knew what we were doing, but it was like, yeah, it was fun times. I'm glad that she's continued it on.
Yes. But even with what you do photograph, even from weddings to portraits, pets and children, is that doing that wide a range? Is that hard to balance at some time?
No, it actually keeps things exciting. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not one for, like, I can't do the same thing over and over again. I love the contrast and the variety of shooting different things. And the coolest part of my job is, especially with, like, weddings and proposals or new babies or families, I am really capturing moments that these people are going to cherish forever. And I get to be part of really cool things. Like, the amount of times I've got to see people get engaged where no one else is around. It's just such a special moment, and it's just such raw emotion. And I do not take my job for granted. I am so lucky that I get to be around happiness and love and beauty all the time. Like, I rarely photograph anything sad.
Yeah.
You know? And when I do, there's still, it's an emo, it's art, it's emotions. But I'm really lucky.
Being in those moments, is that, like, feels special to you, where you have to capture moments that maybe other people don't see?
Like, what are you referring to? Like, weddings?
Weddings.
Yeah, weddings are so fun. I come off such a high after shooting a wedding because it's pure joy, pure love all day. Everyone is dolled up. It's the first time everyone's been together in a long time. So there's that aspect. It's so much fun. And by the end of the day, I'm like part of the family. And yeah, I mean, listen, it has been like, at first, you know, shooting weddings in the photography and art world isn't necessarily, I mean, it's respected in its own right, but, like, artistically, I think it's, like, not as respected because it's like so common. But when I look at it's such an honor to be a part of that day. I mean, so that's where I can bring in my editorial or my documentary or like more of a creative style and implement it into my wedding photography to really truly make it unique. And then just because it's also like intimidating for people who aren't used to it to be in front of the camera. So,
yeah,
there's a whole way of working with, making people comfortable and stuff like that.
No, I was gonna.
I know, sorry, I
Kind
jumped.
of ask, because you do photograph a lot of people, and
Mostly, yes.
mostly people. What do you kind of say to people that maybe aren't? They say
You know
they
what?
aren't
I work quick. So, and I kind of do things. I'm taking photos when they don't even realize it. So, like, usually it's in between the poses that are the shot. Like, I'll make you do something and it could feel dumb. But it's really the in between. So, like, one of the things I do with couples, especially if they're super uncomfortable in front of the camera, I'll be like, okay, and it always catches them off guard. I'm like, okay, now walk like you're drunk. And it's because they can like stumble around, but they're laughing, they're moving, they're being silly. And that's kind of like one of my little tricks. I won't give too many of my tricks. But and then, some of the brands I work with, there's a brand on the South Fork that I've worked with for like 6 years. And he likes to use people who are not professional. He likes to use like real people. And those are big, long shoots. So that could be really intimidating for people. We've had some hits, we've had some misses, but it's fun to work with people in that aspect as well, like more of a commercial aspect. And I love, though, when you work with a brand and they bring a professional model on, it's really fun. Because they're doing their thing and they're so creative too. So it's just like a nice collaboration of creativity. And then on top of that, you're photographing someone's product or brand that they've created. So it's like really cool.
No, I didn't think about, I guess with bringing in professional models, that's different.
It's such a treat.
Yeah.
It is such a treat.
Yeah. And you've done work for major outlets like Vogue and BFA.
Vogue was through BFA, but I will work with Vogue one day. I'm manifesting it. So not yet. But yes, my work has been posted in Vogue because I work for BFA, which is an agency. So for BFA, I shoot a lot of like celebrity events or larger brand events, like luxury brands, which is really cool because that has, working for BFA, just the way they structure everything, from the way you shoot, the style that you shoot in, down to the way they expect their editing and their post-processing done. I have learned and evolved so much. It's been really nice to have the opportunity to work for them, and it's kind of cool because at these events you start to see the same people over and over again, and you kind of make, you make like friends, and it's, how people photograph too, so you know the ones that like to be photographed, so you can like play around. But yeah, I really enjoy shooting for BFA. I'm kind of like I do a lot of their Hampton stuff.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, magazine outlets pick up photos from that agency, which is how my photos were on Vogue.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was just wondering even if you had any favorite photographers from the past that have inspired you.
Oh, gosh. I mean, it's so cliche, but Annie Leibovitz is so good. Yeah. But there's one photographer who shoots for National Geographic, Allison Wright, who I have become a huge fan of. And it was really cool because I actually ended up kind of I took a workshop with her, and then we became buds. She came out and visited during the pandemic, and we've lost touch throughout the years. I should reach out to her, but I really like Allison Wright. But I don't, when your art becomes your career, you get kind of like, it tends to get mundane. So you kind of, you can lose yourself as an artist once it becomes your career. So you're kind of reminding me that I need some more inspo. Maybe I need to go to a museum or like a photography show or something, because it is so important to feed the creative part of you and not like, I mean, I've got like probably like 13 projects I need to edit right now. Like once it's your job, it's like all you focus on is getting it done.
And is the summer really, it picks up?
Yes, big time. So, but then basically January until May, it's slow.
Okay.
So, gets scary, but we make it through.
You make it work.
Yeah.
And you mentioned some of these events even for BFA but do you have any, it's probably hard to pick, but one shoot that's most memorable to you, whether on the North Fork?
Ooh.
Maybe what made it?
Wait, for BFA or just in general?
Just in general.
In general, okay.
Just in general.
Oh, gosh. I did a shoot with the Times Vintage years back, and honestly, still to this day, it's one of my favorite shoots. It was just styled really well, and it was just really a great day. I still have favorites from that. But, gosh, there's so many. I did a series with the Boys and Girls Club of Bellport, children's portraits. They're like empowerment portraits. That's an ongoing project that I love, and I hope to expand with bigger outlets. But basically, they're black and white portraits and studio portraits of kids, and we put music on and we dance, and they're able to like really just be themselves in front of the camera. And it's so empowering for them to see themselves after and be like, wow, I'm beautiful, or wow, I love that photo of me, or, when I hear them say that, that's what it's all about for me. Like, I want people to feel empowered. I want people to feel beautiful. I want people to feel proud of themselves. Even the big brand, even larger brands, like, I want them to see the photos and be like, yes, like, feel proud and good and excited.
Yes. And even with just some of the work you've done, how have your clients responded to their bridal shoots?
They love it. I get great feedback. No, you know what? One of the best compliments and one of the most common compliments is that it wasn't as bad as I thought, or that was fun, or, like when they're nervous at first or unsure, or like, we're really awkward in front of the camera, and they come back and they're like, oh my God, these are beautiful. I did not expect that. Or, those are the kinds of feedback that makes me feel like that's why I'm doing this.
Yes. And you mentioned a lot of the work you're doing now, but in terms of your own work, oh
my God, I know.
Do you have time to work on your own?
I have a toddler at home, and I know I have ideas brewing, but I'm actually, I have other projects in the works. I actually have a children's book that I wrote. And I want to expand. I want to grow career-wise and do like bigger commercial, bigger editorial shoots and go down that direction. So I'm more like career focused right now. I don't really have any personal projects at the moment.
And then you mentioned in Creative Community coming out in around 2012, but you're noticing it again. But what do you love most about the creative community out here?
You know what I love? That everyone is so supportive of each other. And specifically the photography community.
Mm-hmm.
We are all buds and there's enough work for everyone. And I also love that in the creative community, we all like work with each other too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just really cool to feed off each other and work with each other and send work to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a really supportive community. I really don't feel any type of competition or
Mm-hmm.
maybe other people feel this way, but for me personally, I feel like we all support each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was wondering, even from 2012 to today, have you noticed like with the North Fork and it's changed over?
It has. I mean, even when I moved out here, people were saying that it was different. Obviously, it evolves throughout the years, but it has changed significantly. Just from the businesses, the cost of living, the crowds, all the things that everyone talks about.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is that the locals here really take pride and really have, we're all on the same page that we want to keep it cool and quaint, and we want to have like integrity with the way we operate here. But there's always going to be some outsiders that come in and think they're discovering it for the first time and they're going to change the North Fork. But I think as long as us locals stick together, we should be good, hopefully.
Yeah. And
us locals. I'm not even technically a local. But you know what? My partner, he's from an old family out here. He's a local, so I'm local by marriage almost.
Nice. And how was it during the pandemic? Was for work and...
You know what I did during the pandemic? I sold all my stuff and we renovated an RV and I drove across country for 7 months.
Wow.
Yeah. And that I did a lot of personal work then. I documented the whole road trip.
You had time more to
I
do
had
your
a
own
lot of
stuff.
time. And then I would fly. My sister's a flight attendant, so I have some perks, but I would fly back and forth for shoots sometimes. So yeah. But yeah, I really utilized that time. I was in a new love and we were traveling cross country and we had our dog and he's a videographer, so we took a lot of video and photos. It was fun.
And I think you've touched on it already, but just looking to the future, just maybe some of your hopes for the community and people down the line of the North Fork.
Well, I hope that our community remains attainable for artists to live and work here year round. Especially with like the cost of living going up. I just hope that we can still have affordable housing to really harness our young artists out here. And old artists, they need places to live too. All artists,
Yes.
all artists, all people. Everyone's creative in their own way. But I actually am teaching a photography course at CAST in August. This is going to be the 3rd year that I'm doing it. I think it's still open. It starts the last week of July every Wednesday. And it's specifically for teens. And when I teach the class, I really make it known that, hey, this is a possible career opportunity. I don't want you to feel like this is out of reach. So I hope that I can inspire our kids to take pictures or do art or really just pursue their dreams. Because honestly, these days it's up to us to be entrepreneurial, and like, you don't have to work a 9-to-5 job that you hate. You can really, if you put your mind to it, you can really achieve your goals and really achieve your dreams and have freedom. And that's what I really want to teach these kids.
Definitely. I think that's important today with today's environment.
Yeah. So easy to get caught up in the rat race of it all.
Yeah. And then I think just lastly, I usually, if you wanted to, anything else you wanted to say to our listeners, or in terms of how they might be able to, if they're interested in services, or how they can get in touch.
I'm very active on my Instagram. You could follow me at Madison_Fender. My website is madisonfender.com. But I'm mostly active on Instagram, and so you can follow me there. You'll see me in local publications around town, and so make sure you also keep an eye on the North Fork Art Collective, because she's always hosting art shows and she's always encouraging newer artists to show their work, so you can send it in. But she does all types of mediums: photography, painting, sculpture, you name it. So I think I'll be hanging work there in the future, hopefully. And yeah.
No, definitely. But I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on the podcast today and share your story and your career out here on the North Fork.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I never really get to talk about my photography stuff with anyone, so it's fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed episode 192 with Madison Fender. I want to thank you for listening to the Floyd Memorial Library podcast, and we'll see you next time.